Okay, so I'm not going to do the application for you, but I am going to give you some hints, and it is really important that you try these problems because they are definitely more similar to harder things that we're going to do in the class, harder things that you're going to do in the future, and it's just good practice to get used to word problems. Okay, so the first one you should be able to do, we did that on the practice. Awesomely rich task line builders. Okay, so essentially what you're going to do is you're going to fill in the table and graph. So you get to pick what these points get to be. You just need to make sure that it forms a linear relationship. So what I would recommend is, like I'll just do one with you. And then when you're done, you have to do something different for B and C. So I'll do a B, I'll just do an A with you. Okay, so like if I did 0, 4, right, and I need to come up with different points for these, it just needs to be linear. So if I choose this point right here, then I need to make sure that this is I'm keeping the same thing, right? So I need to keep, my slope is -1, and then I need to fill it all the way out to 3. And I think it would be smart to use different colors for these 3 different lines. So like let's say this is one of my lines, right? And I need to come up with the equation. I should already know how to do that using my y equals mx plus b. And now I need to make a different equation, right? Let's say with b, I want it to be the other way, right? And I need to fill out that table and make sure that I find the equation, right? And then when the third one, I need to make another one. And I need to make sure it's linear. So you know what I can't do? You can't pick a point, right? You can't pick a point like this, and then all of a sudden the slope changes to like that, right? You're not allowed to do that. It needs to be linear. This isn't linear, that has a break in it. The slopes need to be the same throughout the entire line. So make sure you're very careful with your tables and your equation so that you have a linear relationship, right? That's the whole point. And then when you're done with your 3 lines, you need to figure out what they have in common. A good trick is to look at the equation. Look carefully at your equations that you come up with for your 3 different lines and figure out what they have in common. On the back side, it's going to ask you what's different. How can you compare it from the table and the graph? So you really want to get used to going between the table, going between the graph, going between the equation, and being really good at doing math from all of them, right? It's like you sort of want to be, you know, trilingual in math. You want to be good with equations, you want to be good with tables, you want to be good with graphs. Okay, the next one is very, very similar. So this time they gave you 2 points, and you have to fill in the rest. And it needs to be linear. So let's just do this one together. So we have -9 and -6. And then you need to fill in the rest, right? This needs to be linear. Do I have a ruler? No. So right. So I want to be very careful with this one. This one's a little trickier because you want to be very careful. Here, I'll use my note cards. Everyone's favorite. Who doesn't love note cards? Right? So this one, we need to fill in the other points. So if we go -6, oh wait, this one's different. Okay, so this one was actually tricky, right? This one's 0, 0, so it should have been right there. I was just looking at the point automatically and assuming it was the same, but it's not, right? So it should be 0, 0. So this is the line it should be. Broop. Ignore that. So it's wanting us to find at -6 and -3. So it looks like it's -3, -2, -6, -4. And you should be able to find the equation of the line. Honestly, you could find the equation of the line with just these 2 points. Because remember, we had problems where we were like, they only gave us 2 points. And we could find the equation of the line. And then we could use that equation of the line to double check these other points, right? So you're going to want to do that. And then you're going to want to do that with these other 2 lines. So be very careful. Don't make a mistake like I did. I would suggest using different colors so that you can keep track of everything. And then they're going to ask really similar questions. What do they have in common? How do you know that from the equation and from the graph, right? So what is common in the equation? What is common in the graph? And then you need to extrapolate. So what do you think will be true about all lines? So once you find the common trait, it's going to ask you the next step. What do you think will be true if you give me another line with this common trait? All right, so you have to answer this question before you answer this one, but I believe that you will figure it out.